make no mistake, the music industry, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty fucking game. Anyway.
I do want to kind of get maybe a thought around this thing that's happening with Puff. He is behind bars. Does that give you any closure, or what does that do for you to see that? Because I can imagine it could be very conflicting.
Yeah, because I don't champion putting young black men in jail,
Right.
Jail period. That ain't, but there's questions that need to be answered, and with this arrest of Keefe D brought more questions, you know what I mean? And and there was some answers with that. So it has to be looked at.
When you go back to 1996, 95, or more so just like in those 90 eras when things were really, really tough between the East Coast, the West Coast, one tribe versus another tribe, are you surprised to know that this is where Diddy's life has ended up at the moment?
Am I surprised at that?
Mm-hmm. Are you surprised that he's currently sitting in a prison?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is it just because of what makes you not be surprised about it? Because as a person that, over the years, I also grew up to Diddy in a sense, right? From my era, I would not have imagined that this, I'll say alleged billionaire, because there's been conflicting reports on if he's a billionaire or not, but this brother that has been visible, we've seen his growth, we've seen his success, to now see what happened to him. I'm a bit like, damn, I didn't know this was a story. I thought he was untouchable, to be honest.
He's had a great deal of success.
Mm-hmm.
He's been lucky. And he's been a few other things too.
Mm-hmm.
You dig? So, and which, if you're not in the business, if you're not in the industry, you're not aware of it, so it goes unsaid for a while. And once Pac passed and Biggie was gone, he, the lane was wide open, you know what I mean? And he excelled even more. So, but there was some situations along the way.
Yeah.
There's some situations along the way in his trajectory that, there's a lot of questions about.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I've always heard stories, people that are uber successful, it's really hard to do things on the straight and narrow to get to that level of success. These are things that I've heard.
This Hype Plus commercial break is sponsored by Aura.
As a hustling mama on the go, every minute counts. But did you know not much time is needed for scammers to get key information about you from data brokers online who sell your information to spammers and even make it available to stalkers? See, I remember when I had just wrapped filming a reality show. The new fame was nice, but the attention would increase the amount of unknown calls and emails I received from telemarketers and others. It made me understand I'll have to take new steps in keeping parts of my contacts and my family safe. And that's why I recently joined Aura, a platform meant to fight back and keep me and my family's information private. Aura does the work for you by removing your information that may be available on sites, and they track down data brokers who sell your information online. No more unidentified callers in the middle of a workout. No more random emails when I'm checking for new offers. Aura sends you alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web. And you can receive real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking. You don't have to be a reality TV star or a celeb to protect your family's information. And as a special offer to our Hypers Club family and Hype Plus viewers, you can hit the link below to receive a free 14-day trial to try Aura at aura.com/Hype Plus. Now, let me get back to my mommy time.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's much more that may come.
Oh, but so make no mistake, the music industry, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty fucking game. Anyway, you know what I mean? It's a dirty game, so much stuff that, you know, you may never hear about, but it's a dirty game. So a lot of that's already baked in.
Yeah.
And, but in our, you know, urban community and the hip hop rap community, you know, it just looks a certain kind of way.
You mentioned Keefe D a couple times in terms of just like that being a catalyst to open up new investigations. Now, his trial isn't supposed to start until February the 9th of 2026. Any feelings going into that as you have to wait another, 4 or 5 months for you know, hopefully you get some kind of closure in that process and some answers, because that's what the family's been wanting. What's your thoughts about that? Do you think that, you know, he's somebody to really look at? Are you skeptical? How are you dealing with waiting for that trial to happen, if you are waiting?
Yeah, I'm waiting, along with a lot of other of Pac's loved ones and fans and supporters. This is like the first, one of the first bits of the answer to what happened to Pac. You know what I mean? What happened there? You know what I mean? One of the hottest cities in the country. You got a fucking drive-by the top rapper in the world, and so little information, you know. So I'm curious how Las Vegas is going to handle this trial. It's going to be interesting. We're going to see. We're going to see. But they know that the Fox people still here, regardless.
Right. Do you go into it? Because I can imagine you've just been through so much in terms of the roller coaster ride of just trying to get some clarity, trying to get what is owed, trying to make sure that you're protecting your family's name, legacy. In particular, like with Keefe D, are you kind of like, I don't know, jaded by the process? Are you emotionally involved? Or are you just there to get the information?
No,
because with him, he just seems a little bit, I don't know if you could trust him fully. So I don't know what he's going to say and how much can you digest of what he's going to do, you know? That's just the vibe I get from him.
I mean, the man put a lot of shit out there himself. So whether it's true or it's a lie, he got to answer for that. And whatever his explanation is, we're going to see. But he said the shit.
Do you want this? Do you want to televise, by the way?
I hadn't thought about that. I really hadn't thought about that.
It just hit me. I was like, that might, you know, a lot of people were kind of deciding, do they televise it or not? I'm like, do y'all want to, you know, we can make this thing everyone can see.
I mean, considering it's 28 years before they even did a fucking thing, maybe it should be. You know? Write a letter. You know what I mean? Shit, I don't know.